Supreme Court's landmark decision fuels debate over migrant deportation to South Sudan. The Supreme Court has cleared the path for the Trump administration to proceed with the deportation of 8 men who have been held for weeks on an American military base in Djibouti. These men are destined for South Sudan, a nation where most of them have no familial or personal connections. The majority of the men come from countries such as Vietnam, South Korea, Mexico, Laos, Cuba, and Myanmar, with only one originally from South Sudan. Last month, the Conservative majority within the court ruled that immigration authorities are permitted to deport individuals to countries with which they have no ties, essentially allowing for expedited deportations to third countries. This decision overturned a prior ruling which had required officials to allow detainees to demonstrate that returning to a third country would expose them to severe risks like torture, persecution, or death. But here's where it gets controversial. Trina Muto, a lawyer advocating for the 8 men, highlighted that these individuals might encounter extremely perilous conditions upon being deported. She raised concerns about immediate detention in a vulnerable environment. On the other hand, 2 liberal justices, Sonia Sotomayor and Ketanji Brown Jackson, dissented by arguing that the ruling unfairly favours the government by enabling it to deport non-citizens to a country where they could face serious dangers without adequate consideration of their safety. They emphasised their belief that such decisions often seem to prioritise government actions over individual rights. And this is the part most people miss. The Trump administration has been actively negotiating with multiple nations to accept deportees when their original homeland isn't an option. The 8 men in question had committed serious crimes, and in fact the administration highlighted to justify their deportation. Many had nearly completed their prison terms and had formal orders directing them to leave the United States. Take, for example, Tuan Tang Phan, a Vietnamese man who arrived in the US as a child and was convicted for his involvement in a gang-related homicide at 18. He intended to return to Vietnam after serving his sentence, but instead found himself facing an unexpected transfer to South Sudan. Initially, the US government had informed the detainees of their deportation to South Africa, prompting them to resist by refusing to sign the necessary documents. This led their case to Judge Brian E. Murphy in Massachusetts, who ruled that the government must provide written notice and offer the chance for detainees to voice any reasonable fears of mistreatment. In May, pressure was applied to the Supreme Court to approve the deportation to South Sudan. The Trump administration sought agreements with various countries willing to accept deportees when repatriation options were unavailable. The White House and the Department of Homeland Security haven't released any comments on the matter yet. The Associated Press contributed to this report. What's your perspective on this decision? Do you think the Supreme Court's ruling strikes the right balance between ensuring government authority and protecting individual rights? Share your thoughts in the comments below.